Hello, crafty friends. It's Elisa from Paisley Papyrus. Today, I am going to be making some thank you cards. In fact, I think I'm going to be starting off a series for January called Gel Press January. So I think I'm going to explore my gel press a little more in depth during the month of January, and I'm going to start with this video. So I work at a school, and I got a lot of gifts at Christmas time, and I need to make thank you notes for them before I go back to school. So I'm going to use this card as my inspiration, and I'm going to show you how I made it, the basics of it, and then I'm going to turn them into thank you cards instead of Christmas cards. So one of the things that we are using is my mother, bless her heart, gifted me with this. It's 12 by 16 Canson cold press watercolor paper. And what's beautiful about this is I can make 6 card fronts out of it. So what I did was I cut my cardstock at 5 1/4, and then 5 1/4, and then 5 1/4, and I was left with this tiny little strip right here. And then I flipped it the other direction because it's 12 inches across, and I cut 3 4-inch. So that gave me 9 front card panels out of 1 piece of watercolor paper, which I think is fantastic. So I am using today our color splashes. Now this one is green olive, but it is discontinued, but I'm going to use it anyway. You could use the lemongrass one if you don't have this one. So first off, we are going to start with our sweet berry across the top of all of these. So I am going to open that up, and I'm going to put a little sweet berry right here. My son has decided this is the moment he's going to do the dishes. Hang on one second, I need to get a spray bottle. All right, I'm back. I brought my little spray bottle to add a little water to this. And then I'm going to, in our inspiration card, which I'm going to put right here, the pink is at the top. So I'm going to just set this down, push it in, lift it up, and take it away. Now, you saw how much ink I added to that. That was actually probably too much ink. So I'm going to let that drip back towards the middle. I'm going to set it aside and let it dry. So I forgot my baby wipes. Hang on. I'm discovering that I need 2 of everything, for one my workstation and one for over here at my filming station. So that one spread out a little too far, so I'm going to move that off to the side, and we're going to do it again. We're going to put a smidge of water on there. And now I'm still going to use that one. It's still going to be a-okay. So one little dip in there, and we're going to take our card and put it towards the top. You can see it squishing out the top up there, so I may still in fact have too much. All right, he's fine. I'm gonna let it go this way, and we're gonna pick up a little extra color over here. All right, so we're gonna set that one aside, and I think that's probably enough color on there to do another one, so we'll put him right here. Let's see what we get. This cold pressed watercolor paper is beautiful whenever it dries. Oh, that one's nice. He is going to be very pretty. Let's add a little more water. Oh, I'm gonna like this one. Oh, very pretty. Then we're gonna do a little more. This time I'm not going to add any water, and we'll see what we get. Let's see if I can smear it around a little bit from the back. Oh, not enough. Very pretty. Much more concentrated color on this one. Very pretty. And we'll do that again. I need 7 of them. So I'm letting the first layer dry before I add the second layer, because I don't want mud all over all of them. So this guy. Now everyone is obviously going to be different. Oop, he needs some water. Let's turn him to the side a little bit and see what we get here. Oh, that's going to be pretty. So let's let him come back down some. Set him aside to dry. And then we'll do this guy. Nice and pretty. That's 6. I need one more. Oops, I'm knocking bottles over left and right over here. Actually, I'm going to clean this up and bring it back into a more manageable area. And my final guy. Let's see if we can get this guy nice and concentrated. I like to put my tops back on nice and secure because I knock things over around here quite a bit. Let's see here. Just gently lay him down in there. And let's see what we got. Oh, not quite enough. And then we're going to spread him over here. All right, he's going to be very pretty, believe it or not. He's not going to have as much color spreading off to the edge, and I'm actually going to like that a lot. Okay, so now I'm going to clean up my gel press. And we're going to move on to the green. So I have my green in this corner, so that means I'm going to do the same thing over here with a little green. And we're going to start with the one that is the most dry, which was actually, this one was my first, you can't see that. This one was my first one, but he's not quite dry. Actually, he is pretty dry, but this one was my second one, so we're going to go with him because he's pretty dry. So we want the green in this corner, so we're going to lay it over here in this corner and spread it towards the middle. Whoop, that did not go according to plan. And a little more right there in the center. And he needs some more water. So we'll put a little water on here. We're going to put the lightest amount of green possible because I've already got quite a saturated bit of green on here. And so this is the area that I want him. So I'm going to put him right there. Move that around a little bit. And there you have your green. So we will do that again with the others. So I'm going to pause the video because you don't need to watch all of these. Actually, I'm going to do one more. Let's do this guy. Because now it really wouldn't matter if you got the green on, this side and the blue on that side, but since I'm kind of following a pattern, I'm going to stick to my pattern. Okay, he's good. He needs a little more up here to make him blend into the pink. And that's really kind of what we're doing. So now I'm going to finish up the rest of these in green, and then I'll come back and do the blue. Okay, I've done the second layer and I've cleaned up my gel press. So let me show you what we've got so far. We have this one and then this one who's nice and saturated. As you can see with mono printing, it is going to be different with every image that you pull. So I tried to match the saturation of the color to what was already on my card base. So we will do the next one. Okay, so these are not quite dry. You can see that that one is still quite wet. But the beauty of the watercolor paper is that it will absorb quickly, and this one is still wet as well. He got quite a bit of saturation. So we will save those towards the end, maybe. Actually, that one's pretty saturated, so maybe I need to move him first. I don't know. Let's see. It's all about playing. Okay, so our next color is Cool Pool. I did not shake him up. Let me shake him up, make sure all my pigment is mixed in there, nice and mixed in. All right, so he does not look like much currently on the gel plate, but he is so cute once you add him to a print. So this one is pretty saturated over here, so we're going to use him for this one and see what we get. And you can see him oozing out the side, which ultimately was not what I wanted. So we're going to let that drip back towards the middle. he might need another coat. So we're going to go with another one that is only light. Like, well, this guy isn't dry yet, so I'm hesitant to put him on there. So let's go with this one because he's dry. So we're going to put him right here. So adding the water dilutes the saturation, and I do not want that one to be diluted, so that one's pretty. That's a nice one. So let's do this one again, but this time with a more saturated coloring. I'm going to place him right about there so that he gets kind of around the ink that's already on there. Much better. So when he dries, he'll be nice and pretty. So let's add a little bit of that color over on this side and make it consistently go around. Nice. That's going to be pretty. All right. So this one needs just the tiniest amount because this guy up here is pretty saturated. And in that saturation, it spread a lot. So let's see what happens here with this one. We're going to put him right about there. We're going to move the color in the direction that we want it to go, which is to blend it in with the colors that are already on there. Nice. As you can see, it is fun and different, and everyone is an experiment to see what you'll get. And truthfully, I love them all. I think they're going to all be beautiful when they're finished. So this guy, we want him to go in this direction. So I'm kind of pushing him in that direction. We need more right there. So we're going to go back and pick up the color. Ah, that's so pretty. It's going to be lovely. All right. Now this one that I'm about to show you, he needs to be kind of long. So we're going to make my color swatch kind of long. And he is a little bit less saturated. So we're going to spritz in a little bit of color. And you can see I kind of matched my white area with the splotch that I have on there. So let's see what we get. Again, I want it to blend in with the color that's already on there. So I'm kind of pushing the water towards the ink that is already on the underside of my panel. And there you have him. Nice and pretty. Now we're down to the two that are super saturated. So we're going to put a good bit on this guy because I don't want to have nice dark saturated color here and then on super light. You saw that on the first one and I didn't really like that. So we're going to take him and move him around. And there you go. And we're going to add a little more over here in this corner. There we go. And then our final one. Okay, a little bit of green came off of that one, so I'm going to wipe it because I don't want that to transfer to my next one. So this one, I almost dumped my color splash because I didn't have my lid on quite solidly enough. All right, so this guy is aiming for right up there. Now you can see that I have ink on the back of these. You don't have to worry about that. It is no big deal whatsoever. All right, he needs some more. Although he's really pretty, I have to say. No, I think I'm going to leave him just like that. A little more down here, but I'm not going to worry about that white part in the middle. I think that's where I'm going to put my thank you. Oh, I love that. Really nice. All right, so let's add this guy here. All right, I wish I hadn't done that. I shouldn't have done that. Just like I said. Anyway, now I'm going to go mount these on cards and come back and show you what we got. Thanks. Okay, I'm back. My watercolor paper is all dried out, and so I'm ready to assemble the card now. So with watercolor paper, I have a, I like to use liquid glue, but I also have a olive colored card base here. So I'm going to use my Journey Craft Glue all over the back here. And I'm going to make sure I get it up to those edges because as you can see, it's a little curved and I want to make sure that it stays on my card when I put it on. So we're going to flip him over and put him right here. And then while that sets up, I'm going to set it right up here in the corner, and I'm going to use my big Journey acrylic block to hold that down so that it is getting even glue pressure all the way across. Now this is a die from Fun Stampers Journey. It says thank you. Of course it's reversed to you, but I've gone ahead and cut that out of a lot of black scrap paper. And so I have one pre-assembled here, and I'm going to go ahead and add that to my front. So it doesn't take a whole lot of glue to hold this guy on, so that it might be too much there though. And we will take him, get him on all the parts that you want to make sure are glued down. Of course, because I'm on camera, the glue is coming out thicker than I want it to, but that's, you know, the reality. It dries clear, so it'll be okay. So then I'm going to take him, use my tweezers. I love tweezers. I can't craft without tweezers. Flip him over, tap him down, and then I'm going to use another acrylic block to hold that down while I set up the next set of glue. Oops. Dropped him on the floor. Then we're going to add some glue to this guy. All of these bits and pieces so that he stays down for me as well. Okay, take him, flip him over with my tweezers, and put him in place as well. And there you go. I'm going to let that dry for just a minute, and then I'll be right back. All right, our thank you is dry enough in place that I can move on and show you what comes next. So then I'm going to put 2 little dollops of glue right up here. Oops, that was a lot. And then 3 little dollops down here. Now the exact placement is not all that important. It's really just a matter of what you like best. And then I have our Pink World Journey sequins and our Blue Skies Journey sequins. And among those, let me see if I can hold it up to the camera so you can see. Some of the blues are darker and some of the blues are lighter. I'm going to go through and pick out the lighter blues and put a smaller one right there. This one is a lighter blue. I'm going to put it right there. He's a bigger one. And then over here to the side, I'm going to see if I can find another big one. And here is a big one. That guy is in half, so he can go in the trash can. And he goes right there. And then among the pink ones, we have some darker ones and some lighter ones. I'm going to do my best to pick the darker ones. I'm going to go with this guy right here. Whoops. He shifted on me. And then this guy right here. Put him right there. And there you go. You have a sweet little thank you card. So this was our inspiration card, and this is where we ended up. So off camera, I went ahead and put together the rest of them, and you can see that they make very sweet, non-traditional thank you cards, non-traditional colored Christmas thank you cards. And one more fell off over the edge over here. So there you go. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you are inspired. Thanks. Bye-bye.